The Houston Rockets are entering a new era, and this roster could be one of the most dangerous in the NBA. With Kevin Durant leading the charge, let's break down every player, the projected starting five, and the grades that reveal Houston's true championship potential. Now, this is where the Houston Rockets become especially interesting. On paper, the roster has enough talent to get people excited, but talent alone does not determine how far a team goes. The real question is whether all these different pieces can function together when the games become more physical, more strategic, and ultimately more important. One of the biggest strengths of this group is versatility. Houston has players capable of creating offense, defending multiple positions, attacking the paint, spacing the floor, and making plays without necessarily needing the ball every possession. That kind of flexibility gives a coaching staff more options and makes the team much harder to prepare for. But there is another side to that equation. When you bring together several talented players, someone has to sacrifice touches, shots, or individual statistics for the greater good. That is often where promising teams either take the next step or struggle to meet expectations. The best teams understand that individual production means very little if it does not translate into consistent winning basketball. The front court provides another fascinating dimension. Size, length, rebounding, interior scoring, and defensive versatility can completely change the way a team controls games. If Houston can consistently win the battle around the basket while still generating enough spacing on the perimeter, opponents could find themselves facing difficult decisions on almost every possession. And then there is the backcourt. This is where organization becomes critical. A good guard does more than score. He controls tempo, gets teammates into the right positions, recognizes defensive weaknesses, and knows when to attack and when to move the ball. If Houston can establish that balance, the offense becomes much more unpredictable. Defensively, effort will not be enough. Communication, rotations, transition defense, and discipline will determine whether this roster can become truly elite. The Rockets have the physical tools, but physical ability has to be connected to consistent execution. One missed rotation can completely change a possession, especially against the league's best defensive teams. Perhaps the most important factor, however, is chemistry. A roster can look incredible on paper and still underperform if the players do not develop trust and a clear hierarchy. Conversely, A team that understands its identity can outperform expectations. That is why the 2026-27 season could be so fascinating for Houston. The potential is obvious, but potential is only the beginning. The real story will be how these pieces develop together, how they respond to pressure, and whether their talent ultimately translates into winning the next season of the NBA. This roster is impressive, but now comes the moment that matters most. Talent alone doesn't win games, it's about how the pieces fit together. So, let's reveal Houston's projected starting five and grade the lineup that could define this team's 2026-27 season. And that wraps up our complete look at the Houston Rockets' 2026-27 projected roster and starting five. What grade would you give this team? Drop your thoughts in the comment section, and don't forget to like, subscribe to this channel, and turn on notifications for more NBA breakdowns, roster updates, and analysis. Thanks for watching.